Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and today we're going to take a look at a light that a lot of people have been asking about, the Olight SR51. It's the updated version of the SR50, but it uses an XML LED instead of the SST50 that's in the SR50. So, instruction manual, you can see you get the nice metal case, padded metal case inside. You've got a holster, nice holster, we'll get into this more in just a second. Lanyard, you have a diffuser, which I'll show you when we go outside how that works. Spare O-rings, a lot of the standard accessory kind of stuff, and here's the light itself. There's a ribbon around it, I'm guessing to help you actually pull it out because the foam is pretty stiff, but the ones that we have ribbons on them so you get a nice little bit of gift wrapping. So here's the light itself. Set that to the side and get all this out of the way. Alright, so the light in the holster, it goes down head first. You'll see a zipper on there, just have it unzipped and then slide it in the holster. And then you have the zipper, you can zip it up. Nice secure holster. You've got the standard kind of attachment on the back so you can attach it to a pack, a belt, however else you want to attach it. And then another point up here so you can hang it off of something. So that's the holster. Now for the light itself, you can see physically it's pretty similar to the SR50. Some minor differences, mostly aesthetic stuff, but a nice touch that they put on here on the SR51 is the stainless steel bezel where it had the anodized aluminum one on the SR50. And just some other minor stuff, but you can see physically they're pretty similar lights. Now as far as the LED, you notice some pretty big differences down in there. Really big LED on that SR50. You've got that big SST50 LED versus the XML. So there's your SST50 on the SR50, XML SR51. You see how much smaller that XML is. Also orange peel reflector on the SR51 versus the more smooth reflector on the SR50. Alright, the operation of the SR51 is the same as all the other SR lights. You have two outputs and then strobe. We're going to take this off and show you the battery carrier. Here's the inside of the head and the inside of the battery tube. Really nice battery carrier. They do a really good job on these. You can see solid construction, really tough and durable. Takes 6 CR123s. That's the default battery carrier that comes with it. There is an optional 18650 carrier as well that'll take 2 18650s, and it's the same one that was used with the SR50. So if you have one of those, it will work in the SR51. Alright, so we have 6 of the Surefire CR123s in here. You can see that there is only one way that this can go in. You have contacts on the top side, not on the bottom, so there's only one way it'll slide in. And there's a ring that goes around the head, so you don't have to worry about positioning of this or anything. It's going to make contact regardless. So go ahead and put the head back on and show you the interface of the SR51. So the interface, you have this switch on the side. Hit it and you have one of your outputs, whatever the last one you had on was. Press and hold it and it'll cycle between the two. And you just let go when you see the one that you want. And then you also have strobe. So if you double click it, that's how you get into your strobe. You can also do that while it's on. So if you have it in just one of the regular outputs, if you double click it, it'll put it into strobe. So from off, just tap it. You have the output that you last had it on in. Press and hold. It'll cycle between the two. And then double click for strobe. Or you can do that from on as well. Alright, so that's the interface of the SR51. We'll go ahead and take this outside and we'll take the SR50 as well and just compare the two so you can see how they differ in performance. Okay, we're outside with the SR50 and the SR51. Got the big 40 mag light that I always use. Let's go ahead and try that mag light out first. See how it does. Little bush, 15 feet. Tree out there at 100 feet. We'll zoom in on the tree. Although I'm sure you've all seen it 5 million times if you've watched any of our other videos. Alright, so that is your mag light. Let's try out the SR50 first since it is the existing light. And there you go. 15 feet is completely washes out the camera. And then at 100 feet lights up the tree extremely well. Even on the lower output lights up that tree extremely well. You can see pretty solid spill on this, so everything, I'd say for probably about a good 100 feet is just lit up in front of me. And then here is the SR51 A lot of people were concerned that the orange peel on this versus the smooth reflector on the SR50 was going to kill the throw, but as you can see, you still have a nice concentrated hot spot. That's what you get with that smaller LED, and it still has plenty of output, and you'll see in the longer distance that it is no slouch in terms of throw. Shining around a little bit. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the tree. You see, still plenty of output on it. Here's the diffuser on the SR51, just so you can see the difference of what it does. I really like diffusers. You probably heard me say this before in my other videos, but I really like diffusers. I like frosted lenses. I find them super useful. You can see it just lights up a really wide area. Instead of getting that kind of tunnel vision that you get with the hotspot, it just lights up everything in front of you. Obviously you lose all of your throw pretty much. It's going to greatly reduce the throw, but still, I mean, this, as you can tell, everything for 100 feet is lit up extremely well, and it's going to go a lot further than that. Okay, let's try a distance shot and see how it does. Actually, before we go to the distances, something that's kind of cool. I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but they put some glow powder, it looks like, in the O-ring of the SR51, which is kind of neat. You get this kind of spotted glowing effect on there. Hopefully you'll actually be able to see that on YouTube. Alright, let's try the distance. Okay, we've got a little bit longer distance that we can use for these Olights. Let's go ahead and try out that mag light first. There is the house at 50 yards, tree in the front yard at 100 yards. Can't really see the tree. House does okay. Here's the SR50. Make sure it's in the highest output. Yep. You can see over 100 yards at the top of that tree. No problem for it at all. Lights up everything extremely well. No question about what's going on out there. And as you saw, even with the lower output, still lights up the top of that tree really well. Okay, let's try out the SR51. Just so you can see, still no slouch. 100 yards, lights up to that top of that tree, still extremely well. Throw is no problem on this. And you can see, still a relatively spread out beam, even though it has the smaller LED compared to the SR50, the SSD50 that's in there. So we'll shine it around a little bit, just so you can see. Alright, let's do them side by side. So we're going to do the XML on the left, SSD50 on the right. So it's the SR51 and the SR50. Just so you can see the difference, how they do colors and distances and all that. Actually, I did not have the SR50 on high, so pretend when I was shining it around that it was on high. But now you can see side by side, they still both do really well at distances. And real quick, I'm just going to take the diffuser, slap it onto the front of the SR51, just so you can see. Obviously at 100 yards, it's not going to do all that extremely well, but everything in front of that, it does great. So I mean, my whole backyard is lit up right now. You can see a lot of the trees around it are lit up really well. I really like the diffuser. I think it's very useful. So there you go. That is the Olight SR51. If you like it, you can get it from us at goinggear.com. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com. And if you like the video, be sure to subscribe. We put out new ones all the time.